Welcome back, everyone. It is Sunday, August 3rd, and the MLB. Our three favorite picks are on the way. As always, my name is Austin. I'll be joined by Logan, but of course, we are joined by a returning guest. Now, bring it on out. The Brooms are here, baby. A 3-0 sweep on Saturday, Logan. As I said yesterday, some people are saying that we might not miss a pick in August, and they might be true. We're 6-0 so far. Let's do a victory lap. Yankees Marlins under 8.5. There was 2 runs scored that whole game. We love that. White Sox Angels under 5.5 first 5. Logan beat me. He only had 1 run. That was in the whole entire game. And then the strikeout sheet didn't pay for full value, but we cashed all the legs set for Spencer Strider, who ended up getting scratched. Good thing that happened, because if they were to bring him out there for 1 inning and then get rain delayed, did you ever watch that game yesterday, Logan, or at least see the field and the conditions?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it, but yeah, I'm really, really glad Strider did not pitch 1 inning and then dip.
Yeah, GG to anyone that has Chase Burns props overs. But either way, let's lock in and let's try to deliver you guys another 3-0 sweep today. As always, the recipe. Logan goes first, I go second, and then we talk about the strikeout sheet at the end of the video. Logan, we need another winner from you today. We went to this game, I think, on Friday for a winner. We're going back to it on Sunday. What are we doing?
Yeah, we're going back to the series in Wrigley right now, and I'm taking the Orioles and Cubs over 7.5. Minus 125 odds on Fanatics is your best value there. Now, again, what I always talk about, Austin and I are this far into the season. We're not going to try to get greedy. If you give me a 7.5 line at playable odds, I'm going to take that. But I do like it at 8 at minus 110, or even 8.5 for plus value plus 110. So it really is kind of a wide array of where you want to play this line. I personally want to play it at 7.5 because if they land on 8 on the dot, I'd rather just have a winner rather than the push at 8. So hopefully we do see a lot of runs. Hopefully there's like 9+ runs, and we don't even have to sweat any of those other lines where you got it. But we've seen some lower scoring games this series. As Austin kind of mentioned. I mean, Friday he was on an under. That was sweat free. Yesterday it went under once again with only 7 total runs. It was actually going to soar under before Gunnar hit that go-ahead home run. But I think to kind of close out this series, we see the majority of runs come today on Sunday. Both these two starting pitchers are liable to give up 3+ runs each and get us a good way to this over. I mean, if you're telling me these two starters could give up potentially 6 runs combined between the two of them, which is, again, what their season average is dictating, I think we're going to get the last few runs we need in the bullpen. But let's talk about these two starters. Let's talk about the Cubs starter first. It's going to be Colin Ray starting for the Cubs. 4.25 ERA, 1.32 whip for Colin Ray. Now, Ray's last 2 starts, he's entering in bad form. 5 innings pitched, 5 earned runs. 4 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. So again, guys, you see, if my expectation is if he can once again continue that and give up 3 to 4 earned runs to the Orioles today, he could be in a really good chance of cashing. And really what's concerning for Colin Ray in those 2 starts, yes, he's obviously giving up runs, but he's giving up a ton of hits, 6 and 9 hits in those last 2 starts. So obviously his pitches aren't doing what they're supposed to do. They're staying in the zone too long, and hitters are really picking up on that. I mean, they're tattooing this guy. Post All-Star break, his ERA has increased to 6.43 post All-Star break. So once again, guys, when you're taking over and unders, my favorite thing to do is it's rather than just look at their season stats like ERA, what are you doing for me lately? Are you coming into this game in good form? And I'd argue Colin Ray is not. With runners in scoring position on the season, 273 batting average. He's also bad against lefties, allowing a 302 batting average to left-handed batters. The Orioles will have several lefties in this lineup. We know that for sure. And I think those lefties will take advantage of Colin Ray. I don't know what it is about his pitches. I think they probably just leak a little bit more over to the plate. 2 left-handed batters, but the lefties are definitely doing the bulk of the damage. This Orioles offense, we know they've been streaky for the majority of the year, but right now they're hitting 303 in their last 5 games versus right-handed pitching, which is what I need to see. Yesterday they got absolutely cooked by a lefty in Matthew Boyd. So once again, with a right-handed starter, I think they get to Colin Ray today. I think they get several hits and runs up on him. And then on the other side, it's going to be Brandon Young starting for the Orioles. 6.63 ERA, 1.69 whip. I mean, those are bad numbers. There's nothing else we can do. I'm going to dive into them to just tell you how bad Brandon Young's been this year. But obviously, with over a 6 ERA, the numbers are going to be bad. His ERA in July was a 6.63 with a 311 batting average allowed. with runners in scoring position, he's allowing a 333 batting average. That's a really, really high, runners in scoring position batting average, because it's like, are you able to get that out that you need in the inning to really not allow the hit parade, allow the big inning to really happen? He hasn't been able to do that this year. When he gets behind in the count, I mean, 389 batting average allowed when he's behind in the count. And I know that's pretty intuitive. Most pitchers have high batting average allowed when they are behind in the count, because then they have to throw a strike. And sometimes when pitchers throw a strike, it's an easy pitch for the hitters to expect, and they normally do something with it. But that is a very high batting average allowed. It's abnormally high. And once again, if he's not throwing strikes and he's having to battle back in these counts, he's shown the ability to really get rocked this year. He's allowing a 313 batting average to lefties, 308 batting average allowed to righties. So unlike Colin Ray, who is obviously worse against lefties, this guy gets hit by both sides of the plate. It doesn't really matter lefty or righty. And I think the Cubs will take advantage of that today. Now, they're just hitting 244 in their last 5 games versus right-handed pitching, which isn't that high of a batting average, but they got hits and runs up on Sagano yesterday, obviously a righty. I think they can once again do damage against Brandon Young. Over the last 2 weeks, the Cubs, we go to the bullpen, 28th in bullpen ERA. The Orioles are 16th in bullpen ERA. So when each of these two starting pitchers comes out, however long they pitch, I still think there are going to be run opportunities late in this one, hopefully to get us over the 7.5 total. I mean, these totals at Wrigley are low because it's not the best hitting weather. I mean, when the wind's blowing out, you would see this total at 9.5, 10 potentially. But I think we're getting a little bit of discount. I don't think each of these two starting pitchers are all that great, and I think we see a whole lot of runs today. So give me the runs in Wrigley today. Hopefully we can cash that pick. But Austin, you got one. Where are you going?
Yeah, I got a Sunday night baseball pick for the people. Let's dive into that and wrap up the video. We're heading to Sunday night baseball. We have the Tigers taking on the Phillies. I'm going to be backing and fading one exact team, and that's going to be the Tigers. Taking their first 5 team total under 1.5 at minus 130 on DraftKings. A couple different pivots. The first one, I would look at potentially taking the Phillies' first 5 run line minus a half. I don't mind that at all. You could go Tigers full game at 3.5. I just don't really want to count on the bullpens, and I don't want to count on the Phillies bats. I could see this one being a snoozer, and Charlie Morton making his first start for the Tigers. You have no idea what you're getting from him. A lot of familiarity here with these Charlie Morton pitching against them. Every time I've taken a first 5 minus a half first 5, I don't know if it's paid this year. It's like I lose that bet 0-0. It's 1-0, or I lose 1-0, whatever it may be. So I'd rather just fade the Tigers and ask Christopher Sanchez to lock in and pitch well, which is something he's been doing all season long. We know he is one of the biggest all-star snubs, and he's kind of taking it personal, but honestly, he's just been locked in. Now, what he wasn't locked in was in his most recent start. He went out there and gave up 4 earned runs. That was only the second time this year he's given up 4 earned runs, and I think the first time was all the way back in April. This is a guy that's been locked in. His last 6 starts prior to that, 1 earned run in every single one of them. So again, cashing this prop in 6 of his last 7. And what he's great at is getting the ground balls. The weather, you never know what you're getting in Citizens Bank Park, but we know Sanchez is great at keeping the ball on the ground. In 96th percentile in ground ball percentage, 88th in barrel percentage, 87th in expected ERA, and 82nd in whiff percentage. So he even has the swing and miss capability, which if maybe you get second and third one out, he can go out there and get that K, which is what you're looking for. He can also induce those ground ball double plays and stuff like that. Just what he's done. That's the Tigers offense that has struggled against lefties. They've been starting to hit them more recently, but the one they got to on Friday was Ranger Suarez, and Ranger Suarez is great. You could argue he might be better than Christopher Sanchez, whatever he may be. It's not like they really got to Ranger, though. What they relied on was a couple hits because they only had 4 base runners, but they happened to hit a 3-run homer. That was the only thing they did. Now, technically, we could lose this bet on a 2-run homer, and that could be the part that we're sweating out here. But again, Sanchez has been really good at limiting the long ball, and I think he can induce those soft contact outs, get guys out that might get on base with an easy single and get them on out of there. So, like I said, they've struggled a little bit against lefties. 5 of the last 7 to face the Tigers allowed 1 earned run or fewer, and we're not even asking for, Sanchez, he could implode in the 6th. He could do a Paul Skeens yesterday where he's looking great. And then what the heck? Paul Skeens couldn't find it out in the 6th inning. do that. I don't care. We're just trying to go 5 innings, and I really think he can. It can do that against this Tigers team. They're heading back home after this game, Sunday Night Baseball. I'm sure they're itching to get back to their families. I want to fade them in this capacity. We know Sanchez great with runners in scoring position, 190 batting average allowed, 209 with runners on. So again, not a guy that gets super nervous pitching at home, has the strikeout stuff. Coming off a bad start, has all the recipes for a pick that I want to do. I don't mind actually. I think this is a lower scoring game as a whole, but I rather just ask Mr. Sanchez to give us 5 quality innings. If there's an error in there and that's how we lose, then it wasn't meant to be. But I really do think Sanchez can do well. So give me the Tigers first 5 team total under 1.5. A pivot. If you're looking for a better value, you could go for maybe Sanchez under and earned runs. You'll get like plus 130. So pretty good value there. Although you will have to go out there and sweat a sixth, a seventh, maybe even an eighth inning. He is certainly capable of doing that. Or you could do the Phillies -0.5 in the first 5. And then our third and final play of the day, as you guys should know from the last few days, is the strikeout sheet. We told you we're trying to track it all of August. The only day we might not track it is if it's like a 3-game slate and we physically can't find enough pitchers to make a strikeout sheet. But again, today we will post it once again in the YouTube pinned comment down below the video. We'll post it, tail it. We normally play it on Fanatics or DraftKings, whichever one has better odds. Normally, FanDuel doesn't have great odds. But again, today will be the final day we're posting it to everyone. Then tomorrow we'll get it back to posting it just in the Dub Club, which we've been doing all season long. We just haven't been tracking it until more recently. So again, to recap the card, we have Logan's pick, which is going to require some runs out in Wrigley, the over 7.5 there. Then we have the Tigers first 5 under 1.5. And then we have the strikeout sheet, just a half unit play here. Again, tail that. Link is down below. You can join the Dub Club if you seek. I think the link down there, if I'm not mistaken, is buy 1 month, get 1 free. So that's going to carry you easily into the NFL season. That almost carries you into the NBA season. We'll probably run some new promos and stuff like that to extend your subscription. So get on in there, get in the Dub Club, because we're not missing a pick in August. Let's try to do it, and we'll see you guys back again tomorrow. Hope with the brooms out, that'd be awesome, but I'll take a 2 in one day if that's the case. Let's get it done. See you guys back tomorrow. Have a great rest of your weekend. Peace.